Right folks, just met a man on a bike. He's gone on ahead now, and it was his own pedal power, no battery operated one or electric, and I could see he was struggling coming up a steep bit, so I quickly got out the way. And when I got up the top, he was sat just resting, and I said, "Oh, you deserve that rest." And he said, "I don't." He said, "I didn't think I'd be able to do that." He said, "I don't tell a lot of people," but he said, "I'm 70. And I said, "Oh, you've done really well." I didn't tell him that I was 73 and a half. Look at that lovely view, look. Dowsborough Hill Fort, right? I'm not going there today. We're coming forward a bit over towards Lower Hare Knapp. We're not doing Lower Hare Knapp because it's too ferny, too close to ticks. So this is a Macmillan Way, and its route is an old battle route, as I've mentioned before, old Anglo-Saxon battle route. And I expect the Romans were up here as well, because they got everywhere. And I've videoed, photographed and talked and narrated and reflected on this route many a time in all directions, on down all tracks. Today I'm keeping to the broad one, but eventually I'll be right over there, over Lower Hare Knapp. Not the hill fort, one before, just in front. You can hardly see it. It's a hill actually. It blends in as if it's a part of the fort, but it's actually a separate hill. And I'll be going up that. But you don't notice you're going up it. It's not like what I've just done. It's a gentle undulating. But of course, if you're knackered and tired and breathless, it will feel tough. I'm walking. I expect this not very good picking up my voice on here because of the wind. But I'm walking along in my most beautiful jewel, my Quantock Hills, and I've just come up through that gorgeous coombe, the most gorgeous place on earth to me. I'm almost a part of it, you know what I mean? That's home to me down there. That's home. It all is, but that is especially home down there. Just doing a little bit of videoing so you can see where I'm going. Longstone Hill over there. Beacon Hill right over there. I've done it all. I haven't explored Greatwood much because that's a cultivated. This is more wild. I like the wild areas. Greatwood is more of a plantation, if you know what I mean. Regimented rows of trees with tracks. I'm not quite so keen on that. I have been in it. I've done orienteering in there in the past. But I love this. And I'm looking out for deer. So I'm going to have to turn off for a minute because if this... No, I've got into the battery. It's alright. Because I don't know how to zoom properly on a mobile. And my Canon, I need to get the zoom lens. I would need to buy that. And then I can fix it to the camera and have a zoom lens for long range. Especially when you want to do the deer. You need it. Yeah, there's my Lower Hare Knapp. Up there, where the cairn is. Where I go on October the 7th to remember the massacre. Terrible massacre. And to hope peace will come, because it's not just a massacre now, it's a genocidal slaughter that the Israelis are doing. And what I'm saying, they allowed October the 7th to happen, to legitimise their invasion, to kill all the Palestinians or throw them out. It was allowed to happen. They sacrificed 1,000 of their own in a horrific way. They turned a blind eye for over 7 hours while the slaughter was happening. Right? And some of those who survived, and they're their own soldiers, we don't hear much of, said no one came. We told them that that Hamas were doing a lot of training and practice. So they allowed that festival with rich kids and big posh cars to come and dance throughout the night. Their last moments on earth. They allowed it. So I have to stress this. One MP mentioned it once and you never hear about him again. That it was allowed to legitimise their slaughter. Now, turn off. Right then folks, some horses coming up there. They've just come up from Somerton Combe, which is over there. I've done that twice in the past year at least, and there's Somerton Combe down there. There's Lower Hare Knapp, back of Lower Hare Knapp, up to the Carn, which is up on the top there. I can see Flatholme from here. I saw Steepholme earlier. And because it's a bit windy, and I've been in the wind a lot, and I might still be, but I'm going to follow the lower track, which is called Lower Hare Knapp, rather than the up on the top. I'll do the one up on the top, October the 7th, the anniversary of when there was a massacre and the start of bloodshed and slaughter that's been going on. It'll be 3 years, I think. Or 2 years, I can't remember now. Basically, I'm on one of the parallel tracks going along here. There's a higher track up there, which is we've just passed not Will's Neck, Halswell Post and Hurley Point, which we never went on. Now, the only thing I thought about now why I might not have done Lower Hare Knapp is its proximity and narrowness to ferns and stuff. But before we go, we're going to follow that track there, Lower Hare Knapp. There's Lower Hare Knapp up there. So instead of going up the top, I haven't done it for a while, we'll take that one. There's some lovely views of the Combe from there. I can see the plantation trees over there somewhere. And it's all rather beautiful, darlings. It really is. It's quite a hike, actually. I always think it's much closer when I emerge at the Bicknor Beacon, but it is quite a hike. Several hills you've got to get over, but it's gorgeous. I'm really enjoying this experience. I always do. I've met very few people. There was a young girl walking along. She didn't have any bag or anything. She was walking along with just a t-shirt and her shorts on, just walking. But there again, if you know where you're going and you're meeting up, you can, might be a half an hour walk, and then, But anyway, this is Lower Hare Knapp, everyone. So it can be narrow, and I didn't want to get brushed by a tick. But I have got the spray on. So, and this is where we're going. So that's Somerton Combe, that bushy bit there. Earlier we saw Slaughterhouse Combe over the other side of that hill. And Dalesborough Hill Fort in the distance. We've done all that. I've done all that in the past year. I've done a lot of walking. I haven't done this one either way for a couple of years or a year. I don't know it actually. Sometimes I do it and I forget I've done it. So we're going to follow this narrow track right round near Lower Hare Knapp. You can actually divert up if I wanted to do the cairn, but I've decided to wait till October to do the cairn, so I'm going to skirt it. And this takes me out of the wind for a little while as well now. Kodak has ended its work for the day. The first battery, which was a new one, lasted quite well actually, but it never lost a day. This little mobile phone, it can go on for hours, this one. But I have the spare battery for Kodak. I hadn't charged it, and it didn't last that long, but it did a few videos, took a few photos. It's contributed. And of course, if I've got the Canon, which I'll be good when that's actually got it's got its proper zoom lens on it, which I'm not getting for a while. Got too many things to pay for at the moment. It's not a necessity at the moment. Got lots of kids' birthdays and stuff. Oh, look at that. That pretty little thing there. Isn't pretty? A little blue, green. Well, it could be a butterfly. It's so narrow. The phone's brushing up against me. But the thing is, I have put the spray on. I put a bit more on. Put it on my bag as well. These ferns aren't anywhere near as high as what they're going to get. So unless anyone comes out here and clears this a bit, this will be quite overgrown by August. But I do think someone comes out. It is a used track. It is a used track. I expect some of the horse people use it as well. So, in a way, what's called on the turn now, heading back to Holford. There's Holford over there, that far away tree lot. That's what I came up through earlier, up through Hodder's Combe, Shepherd's Combe. And we've been over several hills getting here. I haven't seen any deer. I expect all the deer are down Bicknoller Combe. They seem to like it over there, or further over by the plantation area. They seem to like it over there. There are opportunities to turn off here, by the way. If I suddenly thought you're far too close to the being done, Sheila, all these bushes are brushing your trousers. Not too bad. There are opportunities to climb up. I can see two horses actually without riders. Or are they people? Oh, they're a group of people doing Lower Hare Knapp, so we wouldn't want to walk with them. Not that I'm antisocial, but you know, I come out to walk for the peace. Type of bold area. I think they burnt some of this. It either caught fire, but they do deliberate burning up here. And that patch there is such a patch that's been burnt. But it could have been done for a reason. Okay? But that is Somerton Combe, and you can walk through it. And it's very, very pretty, with a stream and everything. But it's much wilder than what the Hodder's Combe. Much wilder. Far more narrow. I recognise those three people up there because I recognise the bloke with the red jumper. They passed me earlier today. They've parked where I've parked. I recognise them. I'm good at long-sighted still. And I've got my new long-distance glasses on, which I need for driving, but they're good for me for wandering as well. Right, I'm going to turn off now for this particular video. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I just love this place. The wind's dropped and I can feel the heat on me. I'm trying to get my arms a little bit exposed for some vitamin D. I just love this place. Look at the beauty over there. I just love it here. I love it. Not a deer in sight. And see the sea further over, Bristol Channel. And apparently there's a terrific rainstorm on the way, hurtling across the Atlantic as I speak. That's coming this way for later. It will be arriving. I don't know when, but it's not going to be this afternoon or anything. So that's why I decided to come out. Come out while you can, girl. Because that big rainstorm, and apparently it's massive, is on its way across the Atlantic, heading for here and then further in country. That's why I come out. I thought, get out, because I've got lots of tree work to do at home. I finished doing Lambwade. I've just got to add some old photos I did about 20 years ago of Lambwade, where the follies are still there. Someone's removed the follies now. They might have seen them as dangerous or something. I don't know. It was up for sale, Lambwade, for £50 million. That included all the acres. Something like 1,176 acres. And that included a couple of little farmsteads, I think. But there was a decision whether to split it, you know, so that the main house and some land would be sold, and then they could sell individual properties. But it's going to be about 50 million quid. And I've been there, visited. It was empty. I thought, oh God, I wish I could afford it. I can't afford 50 million. Elon can. Anyway. I've walked, see that sort of pathway? I've walked down there before. I've walked down a few of them. Really risky for adders and ticks though. Really risky. Right, turn off, Sheila.